Joining me now from her office in British Columbia is Kari Simpson. She's the president of Culture Guard, and we are going to talk about something completely unrelated to the coronavirus. However, it is still a plague upon our society. Yes, I'm talking about Jonathan Yaniv. Hi, Kari. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen you. I ran into you at the courthouse in Surrey. Why don't you tell us first a little bit about who and what Culture Guard is and what you do?
Sheila, Culture Guard, regrettably, is an organization that's much needed now here in Canada, and we find ourselves now becoming a bit of an international organization in that we work closely with a lot of American groups, the UK, Australia. But basically, what we do is monitor the relationship between the state and the family, the state and our rights as far as those pillars of what we believe our democracy are, freedom of expression / speech, the right to have faith, parental rights, because we see the growing encroachment of the state taking over children. So those issues keep us very, very busy in all these countries.
Now, I'm going to address some of the criticisms of Culture Guard really quickly. You are often accused as being anti-LGBTQ, but in my assessment, you are more about the autonomy of parents and parents' rights. And in fact, you frequently work quite closely with a trans individual.
Well, we've never, I mean, my public statement for the 25 odd years that I've been doing this is I will defend anybody's rights to freely express themselves. But when those rights start trespassing on my rights to parent, my rights to instill values and morals into my children, my right to protect my granddaughter from men changing in recreation bathrooms of the local rec facilities, that's when I stand up. And of course, that in this day and age is not acceptable to what I call the squawk box minority, or the horde as they now are becoming. Yeah. So I think what we've seen now is enough people standing up and speaking back. I will not adopt somebody's delusion that a man can be a woman. I will not go by their pronouns and all the other nonsense, not for just my sake, but for their sake. I don't believe engaging in somebody's mental health issue is particularly helpful to them. So as a result of that, and the funny thing is that coming up just within the next few days is going to be a court hearing in New Westminster on the very fact because a church lost its ability to hold a big youth event because Kari Simpson was speaking at it. And the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom took the case on behalf of the pastors there. And I say right on. It's not often that you see Christian churches standing up and fighting back, but we're seeing more of that now. But they actually hired researchers to go and pour through everything I've ever said and done that's now on the internet, those poor people, to find out anything that would remotely resemble something that could be, forget hate, even mean-spirited. You're not going to find it. I have friends who are part of that community, friends who say, Kari, those squawk box leaders don't speak on behalf of me. We support you. We support parental rights. So I think we're seeing more courage now coming from people within the LGBT community, speaking out and going, this is insane now, especially when you start messing with the kids, Sheila.
Yeah.
That seems to be, for any politician, that's political suicide. For common civil Canadians of all stripes, that's the barrier that you don't dare cross. And certainly we're seeing that. So we're seeing a lot of movement. It's actually a very good thing that's going on here.
If you'd like to get access to my show, as well as other great TV-style shows too, like Ezra's Nightly, Ezra Levant Show, and David Menzies' Friday night show, Rebel Roundup, just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe. That's rebelnews.com/subscribe.